Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Mma Analyst here to do my predictions video for UFC 117. So much talk, so little chance. But before we get right down to it, let's first say if y'all want, a free t-shirt, not this one, another shirt, kind of fighter shirt, check this out. All the info is going to be on the sidebar. I'll put up a little picture of the shirt that will be available. Countrymansfist.com. It's all, I got to do something. All this hand waving is not going to make much sense. But basically, post up on the discussion bar. Y'all know how YouTube works. Just put your picks. Who's going to win and what round and what minute. Doesn't matter by how. And basically, it works like this. So you say Anderson Silva is going to win. If you get that right, then we count, then other stuff will, be tiebreakers. So if there's one guy who got like 10 out of 10 or whatever, and there's another guy who got 10 out of 10, then we'll go with tiebreakers. Well, who got the most rounds right and who got the most minutes right if it goes down to that. But really, it's most likely just going to be a, who got it right situation. But if you put who got it right, but then you don't put the round or the minute and you end up having a tie and you don't have the, qualifications for tiebreak, you automatically lose. So anyways, free t-shirt is going out there, countrymansfist.com. It's all over the place. Let's get right down to it. Anderson Silva versus Chael Sonnen. Wow, one of these two has been talking a whole lot, and one of these two has been knocking people out a whole lot. And you know what? Even if it's not knocking people out a whole lot, it's just winning a whole lot. One of these two has been talking a lot. And one of these two has been winning more than anybody else in UFC history. One of these two has been talking a lot. One of these two, as a champion, one of these two have been talking a lot. And the other guy is probably going to shut that dude up. I'm not even really going to get all into the, what has Anderson done and what has Chael Sonnen done. Look, this is the way this works. Chael Sonnen wins if he is able to hold Anderson down for 25 straight minutes. That means at the beginning of the first round, he's got to come out and he's got to get inside. He's got to not get knocked out. He's got to not get kneed. He's got to not get danced on. And he's got to get him down. And then he has to do enough so that the referee doesn't say, all right, guys, let's stand this up. And then he's got to do that at the beginning of the second round, at the beginning of the third round, at the beginning of the fourth round, at the beginning of the fifth round. And he has to, all through that time, not get Rich Franklin, which is just tooled on the feet. He's got to not get Carlos Newton, which is go for a takedown and get knocked out. He's got to not get Damian Maia, which is just to get danced on and still lose because you can't win if you can't touch a dude. So he's got to go through 25 minutes. Oh, he's got to not get Dan Henderson or Travis Luther, which is getting Anderson taken to the ground and then getting submitted. So all of these things are the things that Chael Sonnen has to avoid. He is not going to submit Anderson Silva. No. He is not going to finish Anderson Silva on the ground. I mean, I'll eat my words, if it happens, it happens, but the odds are it's not going down like that. Chael Sonnen is going to win if he can hold Anderson down for 25 minutes. If you want to look at his last fight with Nate Marquardt, he took Nate Marquardt down over and over and over and over again. And then for the last 2 minutes of the third round, Nate Marquardt said, "What the F am I doing?" And kind of just, did his own thing for 2 minutes. And Chael Sonnen's face looked like, I know I say, this a lot, but it looked like his face got smushed through, like a barbed wire fence. Like, not just rubbed against, but pushed all the way through. Like, his face started on this side, the barbed wire fence is here, and at the end, his face was on this side, and the barbed wire fence had not changed places. He didn't go over or under it. His face went through it. That was from 2 minutes of getting, brutalized by Nate Marquardt. Nate Marquardt, after that fight, looked like he wasn't in a fight. So Chael Sonnen is not the kind of guy that damages people. He's not the kind of guy that takes you down and just wishes like, oh man, please stop putting this beating on me. He grinds people, down, takes away the energy if he doesn't get submitted, 10 times. And that's the situation, you know what I mean? He's been talking so much. I don't even really, y'all know I love when people talk. But there's a little thing that's attached to that. I like when people talk and win. I don't like when people just talk to hype a fight. Chael Sonnen doesn't even believe the garbage he's saying. There's videos out there. I watch all the Chael Sonnen dumb stuff he said. And, people say he's being a troll. He's trolling. Whatever he's doing, it don't matter. He doesn't believe it. So, Chael Sonnen has very little chance, in my opinion, of beating Anderson Silva. He sure is, marketing the fight well. He sure is dealing with, the pressure well. And he sure is acting like he doesn't have any memory. He says, I beat everybody up until the time I lost the fight. I was winning. Your last loss was against Damian Maia. It was 2 minutes and 37 seconds long. You went out there and you got taken down and tapped. No, that's not domination. Paulo Filho, okay, he was winning that one. I'll give him some props on that. But Paulo Filho wasn't even on Earth during this fight. He was literally not even in this solar system. He wasn't even in this universe. So, you lost to a dude that wasn't even there. Jeremy Horn tapped him out twice, I think. TKO once, 3 minutes and 44 seconds in the first round. He got tapped out by Jeremy Horn. What the F? Oh my God. Sorry. I was right. He tapped him out twice and then TKO'd him. So he lost 3 times to Jeremy Horn. Now, I'm not saying Jeremy Horn's not the greatest. I'm just saying. Well, he's not the greatest, but you know what I'm saying. He got TKO'd by Terry Martin. Y'all know who Terry Martin is. He lost to Forrest Griffin back in 2003 when Griffin was just a young up-and-comer. Come on, man. All that talk? You got to at least win. This dude has lost 10 times. Been submitted 7 times, knocked out twice. He got 24 wins. That's like having a 10-5 record. And, he keeps talking about he beat the best of the best. He's like, I beat the King of Pancrase champ. And he's talking about Nate Quarry. And I beat the so-and-so champ. And he's talking about Yushin Okami. And I beat this guy talking about Paulo Filho. He's talking about how he beat all the different champs. But when you really look at it, his biggest wins are over Nate Marquardt and Yushin Okami. And, lost to Babalu, got submitted, triangle choke. Look, I'm done with this. If Anderson Silva loses this fight, mad props to Chael Sonnen. But y'all obviously know that I'm rooting for Anderson to win this fight by any means necessary. Hell, I don't even care if Anderson's on his back and decides, you know what, F this, and just gets disqualified by some illegal blow and Dana cuts him. Go, sure, cut him. Let him go in the Strikeforce middleweight tournament. I'm interested in that. I want to see Anderson in the tournament on CBS. Cool, sounds good. Honestly, my hopes, Anderson goes out there and dances the F out of this fight. Dances, just dance. Michael Jackson, Tito Jackson, every Jackson, Randy Jackson, just every Jackson, not even related to the Jackson 5, just every Jackson alive. If your last name is Jackson, you know how to dance, he does your dance. Tito Puente, everybody. And then see what happens next. Dana, are you going to cut your champ? Are you going to cut the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world? Are you going to allow this guy to go fight on CBS where they actually have strikers who might actually want to strike with them? Anderson Silva been fighting all wrestlers and submission guys. You got him going against Maia. No part of stand-up does he want. Latest, he doesn't want any part of stand-up. And then now your answer is a Chael Sonnen? No stand-up? Vitor Belfort wants to go out there and strike? You think he's going to dance with Vitor Belfort? Of course not. But anyways, no analyzing there, y'all. Anderson Silva could win this fight any way he wants. Stuffing takedowns, knocking people out with hands, knees, elbows, whatever, submissions, dancing. He can do anything he wants. He can only lose by 25 minutes of Chael Sonnen laying on him. Next fight, John Fitch versus Thiago Alves. This is a rematch. This happened a while back. John Fitch won the first one. He's coming off of, he's on a 4 fight winning streak since his George St. Pierre loss, where he proved that he cannot be finished. Well, he can be finished. He's already been finished, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the point is, he was a tough-ass dude, and he still is. All right. Man, that first one got me riled up. Y'all know I don't want Anderson to lose that fight, man. Frick. Man, you figure if all the talking we had to hear and he didn't lose to Anderson, what if he didn't beat Anderson? What if he does beat Anderson? How much talking are we going to have to hear then? Good Lord. I can't even move on. Anyways, so John Fitch, back to him. Definitely the number two welterweight in the world. Number one is George St. Pierre. And basically his style is what it is. He goes out there, he's got a really good cardio, he's very durable, he's got, a good top game, gets you down, takes you down, keeps you down, and tries his best to finish you and doesn't. That's what he does. He tries, but he doesn't finish people. But that's what he does. He's 4 straight decisions with his win. The decision lost to George St. Pierre, 2 decisions before that, and then a submission back in 2007. But that's what John Fitch does. He's very good at what he does. And in this fight, he'll be taking on Thiago Alves, who will be basically fighting for the first time since his loss to George St. Pierre back in July 2009. So he's had a year off, over a year off. In that fight, basically he was afraid to fight. He didn't want to get taken down, so therefore he didn't strike. He didn't strike, therefore he didn't have a chance, and it didn't matter anyways because he got took down repeatedly. The only victory he had from that fight was that, he ended up hurting George St. Pierre for like 6 months just from, I think from something that happened in that fight and showing that he could get up repeatedly because he's just a big, strong-ass dude. But basically, he's got very good striking. He's very powerful. He's very big. Really, he's too big. He has problems cutting every single fight. He's having problems right now cutting. There's supposed to be an open workout. He didn't show up to that because he's having problems cutting the weight. He got caught back in the day with diuretics. That's a banned substance because it's used to mask steroid use. He's never been caught for steroids. I'm just saying, though, the dude's big. And he has a real problem cutting down to 170 pounds. This dude can easily fight at 185, and he probably could fight in shape at 205. He is a big guy. Anyways, they already fought. It's his second last loss. Before he lost to George St. Pierre, the number 1 fighter in the world, Thiago Alves lost to the number 2 fighter, John Fitch, back in 2006. Basically, in this fight, with Thiago Alves coming out pretty much a similar fighter as before, and John Fitch being the same fighter, even if they both improved, which they have, they both improved in the game that against each other. John Fitch's game, I believe, is catered to win. Once again, I'm going to pick John Fitch. It's hard to keep Thiago Alves down, but I think he's going to be able to take him down. The one big thing about Thiago Alves is he realizes that in his fight against George St. Pierre, he did not actually fight. He showed up afraid to get taken down and therefore didn't do anything. And I think that after that and after a year off, he's going to want to strike and he's going to want to not go out there and, stand flat-footed and try to stuff takedowns and whatnot. But I don't think it's going to matter. I think the ring rust is real. Cutting weight will be an issue for him. If he does make weight, it's going to be difficult for him. And I've just got John Fitch winning this fight. Next fight, Clay Guida versus Rafael dos Anjos. Clay Guida coming off a win over Shannon Gergety, then 2 fights, back-to-back losses, a tough dismantling by Kenny Florian, and then a close fight. I mean, I didn't think it was close, but it was a split decision against Diego Sanchez. Clay Guida is kind of like, in a way, he's kind of like the lightweight version of Chael Sonnen, without all that talking and stuff. He goes out there and he tries to take you down. When he does take you down, he's got lots of energy, but he doesn't do a lot of damage. That's the one big thing about Clay Guida. He's moving so much. You'd think that all that moving would, equate, or would, something would happen. Somebody would get cut, but it ends up him always getting cut and him the one looking like, he's just been through, I don't know, Frosh Week. So that's the situation with Clay Guida. He's a good fighter, solid fighter. His hands are okay. In this fight, his hands will most likely be better than Rafael dos Anjos, but he's going to want to take this fight to the ground and avoid getting submitted. Rafael, these Brazilians, they like to use R's and same as H's. Rafael dos Anjos, he's going to want to probably box a little bit, keep it on the feet. If he can get a takedown, then take down Clay Guida and put Clay Guida on his back. But that's just going to equal lots of scrambles and lots of, Dos Anjos is going to have to be in serious condition, because that's one thing about Clay Guida. He's hard to put away, like in that Diego Sanchez fight where he just got kicked full shin right up against the head, and dude dropped and stood right back up. Like, that's only life number 1, and nobody's ever got to 9 lives. You got to just cut off the head. So if he does stand with Clay Guida, it's going to be difficult to knock him out. And if he does take him down, it's going to be difficult to keep him down. And it's going to be difficult to even for a second. If he does get a takedown, it's going to be pop right back up. So really, I see this fight with Dos Anjos on his back, trying to get submissions, trying to move, and Clay Guida doing what he does best, which is just moving and grinding and just staying on you. And I've got Clay Guida winning this fight by decision. This next one here, man, Matt Hughes versus the big dog, Ricardo Almeida. This is tough because Almeida's a real good fighter, or a really good fighter. Matt Hughes is a really good fighter. Matt Hughes is a little older than, the nice young Matt Hughes who was really kicking ass. And Almeida is a jiu-jitsu guy with absolutely no stand-up. But it's not like he's going to go out there and get leg kicked to death like Renzo Gracie. In this fight, it's kind of like this. Matt Hughes has only certain types of fights left in him. And this is probably the toughest fight in which he could probably still win. And it's against a top, young, talented jiu-jitsu guy like Ricardo Almeida, where he can potentially take Almeida down, potentially keep him down, and stay out of submissions. But that is so difficult to do because Ricardo Almeida truly is good on the ground. Now, although all of his wins for the most part are coming by decision, if he does get a hold of you, he will submit you. But in this fight, you've got Ricardo Almeida coming off of his win over Matt Brown, win over Kendall Grove, win over Matt Horwick, but none of these guys are Matt Hughes, young or old. I really have to go with Almeida. Almeida's got that really stupid, he puts his fist right. It's just really bad stand-up, man. It's really bad stand-up. I'm gonna have to go with Matt Hughes. Damn, I would like to pick Ricardo Almeida, but I gotta go with Matt Hughes. It is unfortunate, and really one of the fights. I guess this is probably the fight I'm looking most forward to: Roy Nelson versus Junior Dos Santos. Roy Nelson is basically trying to stake his claim as, I'm one of the best heavyweights in the world, and that is what Junior Dos Santos is trying to do as well. He's shown, Junior Dos Santos with his wins has shown he's got knockout power. He's strong. He went out there, easily. Gabriel Gonzaga, easy. Gilbert Yvel, Mirko Krokop, Stefan Struve, Fabricio Verdum. That's when he really showed his, I'm on the scene type move. And Roy Nelson, on the other hand, he's coming off his Stefan Struve win. He's coming off his, Ultimate Fighter 10 reality season. That was his anyways. He was never going to lose that. Prior to that, he had his Jeff Monson loss and his Andrei Arlovsky loss, which very well could have been a Roy Nelson win without some really bad refereeing. But, The big question here, and I really don't want to see Roy Nelson go out there and get knocked out in 1 second. I want to see him take down Junior Dos Santos. I want to see. This is the fight where I want to see how good Junior Dos Santos is off of his back. Just sure, take him down. Junior Dos Santos shows he's got some skills. He shows he's got some whatever. He gets back up. Cool. Now you can go knock him out if you want. But I don't want it just to be another Junior Dos Santos knocks people out, because we don't learn anything about this. And he is right on the outside of title shot contention. As soon as they decide that they're done giving title shots to all the other dudes that aren't named Junior Dos Santos, after this Cain Velasquez fight, it would be nice if it was like, Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos or Lesnar versus Junior Dos Santos. But I don't want that until I see just a little bit about, Junior Dos Santos' game. So in this fight, in the end, I got to go with Junior Dos Santos by knockout. But I'm hoping it's Junior Dos Santos by knockout after he shows a little bit more than what we've always seen from Junior Dos Santos, which is just heavy hands and, good stand-up, good movement, etc., etc. He trains with the Nogueira brothers. Let's see what's going on. Dustin Hazlett versus Rick Story. This undercard, I'm picking Hazlett. Phil Davis, man, they're feeding Rodney Wallace to Phil Davis. They saw Rodney Wallace, man. Phil Davis is gonna look good from this fight. Rodney Wallace is that big, hulking, crazy-looking black dude with like all that muscle but no cardio. Got crazy tired, but had that really good fight. Like in his last fight, it was like fight of the night type thing. But against Phil Davis, who's people always want to compare people. He's kind of like, John Jones Jr. or something like that. Who's younger, Phil Davis or John Jones? John Jones just turned 23. Phil Davis 25, so damn. John Jones is a John Jones Jr. But anyways, the point is he's a strong wrestler. He's got improving hands. He's improving as a mixed martial artist. And Rodney Wallace is getting sent in there to get just mollywopped. So I'm picking Phil Davis. Tim Boach over Todd Brown. Johnny Hendricks over Charlie Branneman. Stefan Struve over Moorcraft. And you know what? I'm going to go with, even though it might be a stupid pick, but I'm going to go with Hallman over Saunders. UFC 117, time to get your mouth shut. It's important.